Happy New Year, and apparently TikTok might be getting the boot in the US again. Everyone seems to be holding a metaphorical funeral for our favorite short-form content king. Honestly, if TikTok goes away, my phone is going to be so bored it'll start reciting policy briefs. But here's the real kicker. As soon as Congress gets involved, every app that smells like quick attention jumps into the lifeboats. Enter Lemon8, the app everyone is suddenly calling the great replacement. The internet is leaning in, squinting at the pastel UI and wondering if this is just Pinterest with a coming-of-age story. I downloaded the app when it first arrived in the States because I am a victim of my own curiosity. I deleted it a week later because it felt like being trapped inside a mood board that only uses beige and 6 fonts. If you haven't seen it, imagine Pinterest and Instagram had a very tidy baby that refused to swear. It is full of pretty fonts, clean templates, and a whole lot of how to organize your closet energy. They have over 30 categories like beauty, fashion, travel, and my favorite, home skills. There is even a maternity section, which is wild because I can barely remember where I put my keys 5 minutes ago. At first glance, it looks like the perfect place to learn how to make pancakes that also do your taxes. The problem is that it completely lacks the messy, unfiltered vibe that made TikTok actually useful. Lemon8 really favors polished edits, pretty borders, and highly curated collections. In short, it looks great, but it does not always feel like it is actually alive. This matters because TikTok never needed you to be polished to blow up. Raw clips, goofy edits, and spontaneous streams were the fast track to going viral. On Lemon8, if you do not look like you hired a design agency, your post gets ignored. People are bookmarking content like it is homework they are definitely never going to finish. Likes are polite but scarce, and bookmarks are just the new currency for content hoarding. Quick pop quiz. Which of these categories does Lemon8 not have? Shoes, makeup, spirituality, or baking? If you guessed spirituality, congrats. You are now a certified Lemon8 scholar. The algorithm is also weird. It is not a chaotic dictatorship like TikTok, but rather hyper-curated. Click one category accidentally, and suddenly your whole page is filled with slow cooker recipes. On TikTok, you have to actively engage to teach the algorithm what you like. On Lemon8, just having eyeballs on the screen seems to start a theme party. Lemon8 really wants to be in supportive, cozy community, which is sweet, but there is a major difference between being cozy and being completely sterilized. I experimented with it by posting a template-made carousel of books I loved last year. It was cute and neat, but the interaction felt like a library nod rather than a hype train. There is so little incentive to like because likes do not do much there. That is where the panic about where funny people will go meets the reality of platform design. If TikTok dies, we could end up in a world where content becomes slow and overly curated. So what is the solution for us creators who just want to make stuff without the headache? Don't panic and don't try to retrofit your chaos into a mood board. Instead, treat your long-form content like the goldmine it is and use a tool to automate the work. I started using a tool called Vizard to handle the grunt work of cutting my long videos. I got tired of cutting by hand because my attention span for editing is worse than my attention span for salads. Vizard matters because it automatically finds the interesting bits in long recordings. You don't need to scrub through hours of footage looking for that one magic moment. The AI detects high energy parts and emotional beats, then chops them into ready-to-post clips. That is useful whether you want to turn a podcast into clips or highlight a cooking live stream. Scheduling is another massive benefit because it lets you auto-post across all your socials. It is like planting a content garden and letting the app water it while you sleep. The content calendar is a game changer for keeping track of your captions and crops. It beats having 5 tabs open and a confusing spreadsheet titled Future Me will understand this. Compared to other tools, Vizard sits in the sweet spot of automating without losing your voice. It keeps your personality intact instead of making everything sound like a corporate highlight reel. For those of us who aren't great at tutorials, it helps turn messy attempts into clear, punchy clips. You also get analytics that do not require a PhD in mathematics to understand. Use that intel to lean into what works and stop doing what doesn't. Platforms will always change, but you can build a system that is platform-agnostic. Don't spend your creative hours chopping clips with a virtual butter knife. Let tools like Vizard be your lifeboat so you can focus on the actual creating. If TikTok goes away, don't panic, just keep your content flexible. I'm using this to jump from messy long form to snackable short form without losing my weirdness. Have you tried Lemon8 or Vizard yet, or are you just waiting for the next big app? Drop your plans in the comments and go make something weird today.